morning. This is L.A. Eaton, live, off-grid in remote Alaska. And our berries are ripe, and I wanted to talk a little bit about salmon berries. Oftentimes when we have people come and we talk about salmonberry, their first response is, well, is that the eggs of salmon? No, that would be caviar. The salmon berries are much like raspberries. They get quite big. See if I can find my hand. They get quite big. They are similar to a raspberry. Very seedy. Have a very mild flavor, and we use them in jellies, jams, not jams, too seedy, jellies, pies, and different things. And you can see we've got a whole patch of berries just ready to go. My husband has been picking. He's picked quite a few. I had to take a quick trip into town for an unexpected dental for my son, but you can see we've got another patch there. There's a lot of salmon berries in the area where we are right now. Salmon berries grow naturally here in Alaska. We also have raspberries on our property, but the raspberries tend to have been planted versus just being here. We use the raspberries for juicing and other things. My favorite is the raspberry jelly, but my son's is the salmonberry. Working on the garden today, it's gotten away from me in my absence this spring because I was not here right away. So the weeds kind of took over. Looks a little bit more like a lawn than it does a garden, and we don't have a whole lot planted in there right now. But what we do know is usually what you plant will grow to some extent if you aren't fighting off the critters. Last year the voles decided to get into our garden, and pretty much every potato had a bite or two on of it. But you deal with what you have to deal with when you're living remote. The greenhouse is doing a bit better, obviously, because there's not as many weeds that can grow in here. So our greenhouse is doing quite nice. We've got our lettuce coming up. Not all of the seeds took, so I've got some bare spots that as I get reacquainted with actually daily life here, was only out here for a week before I had to leave again. I'll get some other things going. Whose growing season is a little bit less. Only had a couple of beans come up, but had some squash that we didn't think were doing anything, and just added the soil to our beds, and they came up. So go figure. Just goes to show, those seeds that you plant in others' lives may not look like they're doing anything. They just might need a little longer time. So don't be afraid to plant seeds. It's not up to you to make them grow. You just need to plant them. So here I am in the garden, and I've already kind of tilled up this area. And by tilled, I don't mean rototiller, I mean by hand with the shovel right there. We don't have a rototiller that would be able to get in here now that we've got some things coming up. So it's a little frustrating, but in any case, I'm making progress, and that's exactly what I need to be doing in my writing. I am thrilled to be able to tell you that I'm writing again. I gave my friend a challenge. When she said she enjoyed writing, I gave her a challenge to write 15 words a day. It's a challenge my cohort groups was doing, but I didn't feel like I was quite ready for it yet. But when my friend was talking about she wanted to write something, but she didn't know where to start and so forth. I said 15 words a day. I'll do it too. And the first day, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I hadn't written in good 6 weeks. And where I left off, I'm sure I had some place I was planning on going, but I didn't know where that was anymore because I'm a pantser, so I don't have an outline. I just write. So I came up with something, which was an introduction of a new character, a very small girl in this story who, I love the way God gives me names. I'm like, okay, I need a name for this girl. And I think I'd thought of one or two before this one, although I couldn't tell you what it was. And the name Vera came up. Okay, I'll use it. This is going to be a kind of a little spunky little girl who, I don't want to say blurts the truth, but, you know, kind of blurts the truth. Because kids do. They're very unfiltered. And it wasn't until a little bit later when I got done writing that first 2 sentences, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to keep this, and I still don't know. It could get edited. It just might be this is what I needed to get writing again. That I looked up the name Vera. Because so far in my story, most of the names, even ones like this one, where I've just grabbed a name, I haven't looked for a name, just surprises me, and this is so good of, you know, I can see God in this story in so many different ways, because I'll write things and go back and read them and go, wow, that's good, and I know that wasn't me. Same with this name, Vera. I have no idea where Vera came from, but Vera means truth, which is exactly what this little girl's gonna, you know, unfiltered say throughout the rest of the story if I you know, decide to keep her. So there we are, planting seeds, pulling weeds, and moving forward. Until next time, have a good one.